Drones are exceedingly popular today and have become very sophisticated and affordable over the last few years. Drones have some fantastic technology built in too, not just for video and photography, but also for such things as exploring places you can never physically get to, and even drone racing. I'm David Haig from Australian Video Camera and Creative Content. This short video is to help the beginner or someone thinking of buying a drone to understand what the relevant regulations and just plain common sense rules are and mean. Today, anyone can walk into a JB Hi-Fi, Retrovision, Harvey Norman or Camera House, or order direct online from DJI and buy a drone. And in Australia, except under certain circumstances, you don't need to get a license or register your drone. But there are rules that all recreational flyers must follow, or you risk getting some very high penalties. These rules are set and administered by CASA, the Civil Aviation Safety Authority. In this video, I condense these rules and regs into an easy to follow bite-sized chunk to make them simple to understand. There's a lot of confusion about the rules regarding a drone's weight. The rules in Australia are potentially different from those you'll read about on the internet that may refer to other countries. So here goes. If your drone weighs less than 250 grams, examples include the DJI Neo, Mini, 2, 3 and 4, both standard and pro versions, plus the DJI Flip, and you are flying recreationally, you do not need to register your drone with CASA. But understand this weight only applies if you are using a standard battery and don't have propeller guards fitted. If these are fitted, your drone may weigh more than 250 grams. If your drone weighs 250 grams or less, you can fly up to a height of 45 metres within 5.5 kilometres of a controlled airport. However, you must not fly in any approach or departure paths, inside the airport boundary, or create a hazard at any time. If an airport is uncontrolled, that is, it has no control tower, then you can fly in the approach and departure paths, but must still stay 5.5 kilometres from the airport. Of course, if you become aware of an aircraft, you must land immediately. I do recommend you register your drone, whether it is under or over the 250 gram limit, however. If you lose it, you have a better chance of getting it returned, and if you are ever challenged, having that ARN, the CASA registration number, is often a way of showing your legitimacy to fly for those who do not understand the rules, otherwise known as Karens. The web address for registration is at the bottom of your screen. Registration is free for drones under 250 grams. Now this might seem the bleeding obvious, you are not allowed to fly more than one drone at a time. Technically, for example, even if you have one on hover and you are using a second to film it, then it is against the rules. You must be able to see your drone with the naked eye at all times. So this means you can only fly in the daytime, you cannot send your drone into cloud or fog, you must not let it go behind a building, over the edge of a cliff, or otherwise become out of sight. Because you must be able to see your drone at all times with the naked eye, you can't fly drones using only goggles or keep track via a pair of binoculars. The maximum height you can fly your drone is 120 metres, or 400 feet at the old money. This number applies to the distance from the drone to the ground directly below, not the distance from the drone to the ground at the location you took off from. In other words, if you took off from the top of a cliff, you must stay 120 metres above the ground the drone is over, not 120 metres above the top of the cliff. The drone must be a minimum of 30 metres away from people in a lateral direction, excepting those who might be assisting you in flying. And you can't fly a drone over groups of people at any time or at any height. Examples include sporting events, beaches, weddings, or a busy road. This is a bit of a no-brainer really, but it is an offence for you to create a hazard with your drone to people, property, or another aircraft at any time. Never fly your drone in any emergency situation such as a bushfire or other natural disaster, either a road accident or a rescue operation. If you are flying, emergency services cannot. It's that simple, and you could put lives in danger. There are special rules about flying in restricted airspace, such as near airports, helicopter landing pads and so on. These rules can vary from location to location too. There are a number of apps that allow you to enter your location and will give you a map of the safe areas to fly in the vicinity. CASA has some they recommend. I've used OK to Fly by Avsoft, and this is available from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Details on other apps are at the CASA website. If you are flying a DJI drone, the DJI Fly app can be used and also has a facility to request DJI to unlock a certain area if you have the correct documentation from the relevant authority. For example, to fly at Cocos Island in the Indian Ocean, I need to get a letter from the airport manager. This will grant permission and show me any local rules. I can then forward this to DJI to request they unlock my drone to allow me to fly in restricted locations according to those rules. If you own a drone like a DJI Avata, which uses goggles to fly with a first-person view, otherwise known as FPV, then you must only fly this indoors or at CASA-approved recreational model aircraft airfields. One big tip: if you are thinking of getting an FPV drone, I'd recommend you practice using one of the simulators available online. It's well worth the time spent, and even worthwhile if you get a standard drone. Why? Because, and trust me on this, you will crash at some point, and practice makes perfect. And therefore, a second big tip: get drone insurance if you can. DJI, for example, offers a very cost-effective way of getting a drone replacement if you crash and damage your drone or otherwise lose it. If you want to make money out of your drone flying, you need to get a proper commercial license from CASA. Examples of making money include selling video or photo services that uses a drone to get imagery, or using a drone to monitor or examine such things as solar panels or remote farming equipment. You also need licensing to do such things as fly beyond visual line of sight, or outside the upper range of 120 metres, or at night. The processes to get a license are beyond this video, however I do have a series of articles explaining the requirements at the web address below. You also need to go through a company that is approved by CASA, and I recommend Global Drone Solutions. Their web address is also below. I hope this video has helped clear up any issues you may have about the rules, regulations and registration of drones. Now, as drones become more popular, I do expect the rules to be tightened, especially in the areas of registration. If you are registered, then CASA will advise you of any changes. If not, I suggest you check the CASA website from time to time. Here is the web address. Finally, in addition to this video, I've created a 34-page e-magazine all about drones, and you can download this for free. The web address is on your screen now. Once again, I'm David Hay from Australian Video Camera and Creative Content. If you feel like giving this video a like, I'd really appreciate it. I'd also like to thank Global Drone Solutions for their assistance and support in the making of this video. Thanks for watching. Happy and safe flying. Oh, one more thing. If you use a GoPro or other action type camera, I think you'll like my free 60-page e-magazine. You can download it from my website at www.creativecontent.au and select the option in the menu bar.